Michael Hill, starting defensive tackle for Ohio State, will be suspended for at least some games at the beginning of the season. Bill Landis, Tim Bielik, Doug Maurice. What does that mean, Tim?
Well, it means they're obviously not going to have a very important contributor. He's one of a few fifth-year seniors on the team, started all 13 games last season. So it's a loss not having an experienced guy like Hill on this defensive line. But if we know anything, that this is a group that's very deep. A lot of guys rotated in. So I'm sure short-term they'll be fine. But if this suspension turns out goes for a long time, could potentially be pretty damaging, I think.
Landis.
I don't want to sound like a jerk, but
Well, why change now?
I don't think Michael Hill was going to be a starter this year, regardless of this. I think the starting defensive tackles were Tracy Sprinkle and Draymond Jones. I'd feel a little better about it if Tracy Sprinkle wasn't coming off the knee injury he had last year, but he seems like he's a full go. If you have Sprinkle and you have Draymond Jones, you have Robert Landers, who I thought was really good last year, Davon Hamilton, who they've said is taking a step forward. Then you have some young guys like Haskell Garrett. You have Jayshon Cornell. They're pretty deep at defensive tackle, I think. It's a loss. I don't want to downplay that. He was a starter last year, and he's not playing in the first game, possibly more than that. I think they're okay. It's not the end of the world.
So deep is an interesting word. Let's get deep about the word deep. Because the one thing is, and I always say, I'd rather have a dude, give me one guy that you can't take off the field, than six guys who are all kind of pretty good. They have one of those in Draymond Jones. And this defensive tackle thing has been an issue at this program for years. Draymond Jones, I think, is going to be as good of a defensive tackle as we've seen in the Urban Meyer era. And he had Jonathan Hankins for a year early on. If Draymond Jones is that, I don't know if it matters that much who the other guy there is. Now, of course, you want to have that other guy should take up some double teams. You want to say that? Tell me what an expert you are on defensive line play.
I'm just going to say that exactly, so go carry on.
So you want that guy to free up Draymond Jones. But I think it's deep, but I think it's decent depth. But I'd rather have a guy emerge. Draymond Jones emerged last year after Tracy Sprinkle got hurt. So they do have a lot of guys, but I think they still would. I'd rather have them search for someone who they can't take off the field. I don't know if they have that, but they at least have one of them in Draymond Jones. Bill Landis, Tim Bielik, Doug Maurice. Keep watching and reading at cleveland.com. Thanks.